Previously on Starting Over, Maureen, the first Starting Over graduate, returned to the house following a devastating tragedy.
My house went up in smoke. It's gone. Everything is lost. And I'm starting over again.
Towanda worked to repair the relationship with her father that was destroyed when he had an affair.
Dad, why did you have to leave with that ugly woman? You make me sick for leaving!
And Josie hoped a visit from her mother would bring them closer together.
I think my mom tries so hard to do so much for Chloe because she feels she failed me. I'm so thankful that my mom is gonna try to be the grandma that I had from her mom to my daughter.
Good morning, Flower.
What are you doing? My baby. After my mother died, the family split a little bit because she held us together. She was the nucleus. She was the matriarch. And then after my father died, and the Chivy was at my brother's house, and the last night of Chivy, I stood at the edge of the driveway of his home, and I said, Donnie, you are all I have left of family, and I'm all you have left. We have to reconstruct our lives. And I have not set foot in his house since my father died. And everything that my mother and father owned is in it.
I'm hearing Maureen's story, and I feel for her because that is an awful lot of loss. I just feel like God keeps kind of throwing loss her way because she doesn't know how to deal with it. And it's kind of like, hey, I'm trying to teach you something here. Let's learn the lesson.
The fire was at 4:30. I called him at work, I called him on his cell, and I called him at home, and then I got messages, and then I called my nephew, and my brother was there at 7. So he was there for the fire. He was there, you know.
Yeah.
Looking up and saying, what's up, you know, what's left? I said, I have no idea. They haven't let me upstairs yet.
Look at her. See her? Did you see her push herself up all on her feet? Okay, this
wonderful.
is, I was gonna tell you this. This is my master plan. I think this is a good idea, how you said that. Where's the house at in Sullivan?
It's a block away from the veterinarian. It's 2 blocks away from Subway. It's a block away from the laundromat. Of course, there's a washer and dryer there.
As my relationship with my mother grows stronger, I'm hoping I can get some answers to the questions that I have been scared to ask.
So Sullivan, you think this would really be a good idea?
Confident. Yes, I do. Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Well then, okay.
Have a plan and have a goal. I'm all for you there.
I know, but I'm just saying that this is one of my expectations of it. When I graduate, whenever it may be, if I ever graduate, to come home and it be me, you, and Chloe.
That floating around business is done, okay? That's not happening anymore, all right? I can't handle that again. I can't handle not knowing where you're at. I can't handle you and I being on the outs. That's not right, okay? I love you, I love her, and we can do this, okay?
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Maureen? How are you?
Hi.
Stan Katz. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
How's everybody?
Good.
Today's topic is loss, but not in the way you might think. All the women in the house have experienced losses. For some, a relationship that needs mending. For Maureen, whose house burned down last week, it's very different.
I'm going through, it's like something happened that I can't undo. So I have to make do. What I'm going to do is just go forward from it, and I'm going to try and rebuild some of the things back. But I think it's an opportunity for me to move forward and away from the things that held me back.
But that sounds, see, now Maureen sounds really healthy, right, when she says that, but what it's missing from her? What's
Grieving.
the grieving process. Because the grieving does what? I mean, think about this. What's the grieving do for you?
Releases a lot of emotions.
If we don't grieve for it, then 5 years later, it leaks out. It's like that pressure cooker, which the steam is, letting out, but you never really let it out enough, so it's always there. So one thing I'm suggesting is, if you have losses you haven't grieved for, get in touch with the loss. Think about it. Think about the meaning of it. Have your emotional catharsis, and then move to the next stage.
I don't cry in front of other people, and I haven't cried since the fires. I just haven't cried. And the only time I've cried since then is when I think of the children.
What do you think people go through when they lose something? I mean, Maureen's going through it right now. What do you think people go through?
Punch in the gut.
Okay. Punch in the gut, denial.
Anger.
Anger.
I get angry like Kim with loss.
And what's the anger do for you?
Nothing.
Well, it does something. I mean, for those of you who get angry about loss, the anger does something, doesn't it?
Well, it justifies stuff in my head, but it doesn't do anything for me, doesn't make it any better.
Well, it is an emotional discharge to be angry, right? You get it out, but the problem is once you get it out, it doesn't seem to solve any problem. Towanda, how about you? How do you traditionally deal with losses?
I've always been the one to try to maintain. And then I think my theory is 3 strikes, that's it.
I now am thinking about the loss of communication that I've had with my father and how I would love to rekindle all of that back with him.
Now, what happens when losses become so debilitating that years later you're still stuck in them?
You end up in the starting over house.
I was just going to say that same thing.
Yes, you do.
Sometimes it takes a lot of digging to get through to Towanda. So today, I'm using the metaphor of gardening to get the message across.
Hey, Towanda! Come here. Come on. How you doing?
Good.
Come on, help me. We're digging. We're digging. We're digging because we're gonna plant a garden.
Okay.
When I tell the always perfect, every hair in place Towanda that she has to put her manicured hands in the dirt, well, she's looking at me like I have totally lost my mind.
Josie lived with her grandmother most of the time growing up. What was it like to just make that decision for yourself? Was the right decision made?
Must be Josie's mother.
Yes, I am.
Hey,
Nancy.
Nancy. Hi, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
You and I are gonna meet. Can we talk, me and you?
Sure.
Come on,
Yes.
this
Where
way.
would you like to go?
We'll go over here.
And is Josie your only child?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Josie lived with her grandmother most of the time growing up. What was it like to just make that decision for yourself?
It's the best thing for her. Where I was working at the time, I lived behind where I worked.
Okay.
And it was not a place to bring up a little girl.
Was that a bar, restaurant, or?
Yes. There were circumstances concerning her safety on occasion. And I sat down and spoke to my parents, and we all 3 decided that the best and safest place and the best environment for her was with them in Sullivan, not where I was at. And that's the first time she'd ever been away from me. It was very difficult for a while.
Looking back on it now, would you do it the exact same way?
Yes, I would.
Because?
Because she would have not had the opportunities that she had. And I think something very bad would have came out of all that. I don't think she'd be the woman that she is today. There's quite a bit of change. I see more responsibility. I see more of an adult.
What's the difference for you between being a grandma and a mom?
maybe it's not going to be any difference. Maybe there won't be any difference. Maybe with the three of us, there won't be any difference. Like mom 1, mom 2, and baby 1. Or grandma and mom and baby. Or maybe sometimes I may need a mom. And Josie can be that for me.
So tell me one piece of advice you'd love to give Josie.
Hold your head up, set your jaw, and be determined, because it can be done. Whatever you set your mind to, you can do it. You can do it. You just gotta try.
We're digging because we're gonna plant a garden. This is your life, yeah? This is your life.
It's really gonna have to take some getting used to with me getting down and dirty in that dirty dirt.
Now, this was once a plant. Look at this. This was once a plant. And what happened to it?
It dried up.
Like what? Like our dreams, huh? What dream is that?
My career.
Is it? But you know what? Put it in that dirt and we can recreate that sucker.
Grudges. These are grudges.
Oh, good. Cut that. Cut that. As we pull up the roots and the weeds and other unidentified buried objects, Towanda realizes that in order to clean your life up, you must be willing to get messy. Are you open to the possibility that your relationship with your father could change?
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to get it alive again, and what else?
Healthy. Healthy, like talking with no strings attached. Or with me not feeling that I have to talk to him because he's my father. Forgiving and communicating, honestly.
No matter what he
No matter what he does.
Yeah.
I want you two to have a day together to enjoy one another. So I'm gonna send you somewhere that maybe you could have a little fun. Would you like to have some fun, Nancy?
Sure.
Would you like to have some fun?
Yeah, where are we going?
Well, you know, I know your mom has had a challenging life. She's been working her behind off for how many years now, Nancy?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. I think today should be a day for your mother.
Yay.
So today's all about mom, and it's a day of beauty. You are going to go to a hair salon and get your hair done and makeup.
Just try. Well, I know you don't. I don't know about this. I didn't know.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise. I didn't know.
It's my surprise.
I don't wear makeup.
Well, maybe.
In 30 years.
Well, great. Maybe she can show you some tricks, and maybe she can learn something. Tell her to
I don't need it.
Tell her to do. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. You know.
Yes,
So,
I'll try it. Yes,
You
I
could,
will. I'll
and you
try
could
it.
ask her for natural, something that you could do in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm hoping that this day will help them get closer, will help both of them be more open, and will help them become more than friends, but truly a mother and daughter.
This will be fun, Mom.
Yes,
What
it
do you
will.
think?
It
What do you
sounds
think?
great.
Sounds good?
Great. Wonderful.
There was, maybe there was just things weighing me down. I don't know. There's a lot of loss, a lot of great loss. Yeah.
Well, I hope you're getting counseling because, I mean, come on.
I
might
have,
not, maybe you're still in shock right now. Maybe, just a month from now it's going to hit you or whatever. Cause you
have you ever seen me cry, Dottie?
Never.
It's like now when I cry alone, when I cry over Joe and over Linda. And I haven't cried over the house yet. I start to. But the thing that makes me cry is I think of Joe and Linda.
I think when I finally can do that, to cry and let it all out, I think it's going to be like a dam bursting. Like an explosion, like a black hole opening up. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it. I really don't.
Hi there.
Hi there.
You ready for me?
I'm ready for you.
I'm meeting with Maureen today for our first individual session. I'm going to try to get to know her, develop some trust, and also allow her to stay in the moment of her grief and not push her too far. So I want you to, Maureen, tell me a little bit about yourself, but I'm going to make you do it in a little different way. I want you to tell me 3 or 4 things about you that you think I should know.
Living my whole life thinking that I would rather die before my mother. Because I couldn't live without her.
Really? Is she still alive?
No. And my mother died a few months after my daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. And my mother said to me, I'm going to stay here until Linda's fine. And then my mother died, and I thought, Linda's going to be fine. Because my mother is going to make sure that everything's okay, because Mama was, you know, she made everything good. She made everything happen, and she made all the pain go away. And I was like in terrible grief over losing my mother. And then my daughter died, and then I began grieving for my daughter. And just as I was surviving that, my son died.
For now, Maureen really needs to stay with her feelings, the feelings that are so painful and devastating to her, and not to be working on anything else at the moment. So today I'm giving her permission to cry. You know, I could see when you started talking about your daughter who passed away in 1990, I mean, I could see the tears starting to come.
That's what my son.
And your son?
The only tears I've had is when I think of the house burning, I go back to them. And then I can have
that's
the tears.
okay. You know, the house is a thing which represents your children. So the real tears
are the children.
So, you're planting a new garden for your life.
Okay.
We're gonna plant all of the good things that we want to see, and we're not worrying about none of the other stuff. Family business is messy business. So when you're born into a family, it is your responsibility to weed through the mess, plant your own garden, your own positive images, and create what it is that you want in your life. Okay, then take your new life. This is your new relationship with Daddy, yeah? And you gotta get it out of its old container. Be gentle, and then it'll just fall right into your hands.
This plant is going for my father. Part of the prayer that I'm praying is my father and I to let go of our resistance and let down our guard so that we could be honest and open and rebuild our relationship as a father and daughter.
That old raggedy pile of dirt.
It's beautiful. The biggest hope for me with my father is just basically freeing me of all the years that I've held not being completely honest communicating to him. And he's gonna know whether he likes it or not.
Just gotta be willing to get your hands a little dirty.
Do you think that you grieved sufficiently over your kids? Maureen, it is okay to be devastated by this.
Thank you.
I mean, it is not. In fact, one of the things that I wanted to share with you is that you don't need to be putting this in a nice, neat package right now and saying, I'm going to survive this, I'm going to do fine, I'm just going to move on, it's great. That's not where you need to be. You actually need to be really sad. And you really need to feel sad about lots of things in your life that maybe you never allowed yourself to feel sad enough for.
Choose weakness.
Do you think it's weak to lose children and a home and to feel sad about that?
No.
Who's judging you?
I guess I am.
Okay. How angry are you?
Very angry.
It's okay to be angry. You got dealt a very bad hand. A very unfair hand in life. To lose one child is a blow. To lose 2 children, devastating. And it's okay to be really sad, and it's okay to be really mad about it. If you don't feel that pain, if you don't let yourself really mourn, it just...
Isn't crying mourning?
Crying is mourning. It's a form of mourning.
I cried. I still cry.
Maureen doesn't want to cry in public. She cries privately. She doesn't want to burden people. She doesn't want to be seen as a downer. And I'm encouraging her to really demonstrate her emotions and not be afraid of what anybody thinks.
Nobody sees me cry.
Well, you don't want them to, do you? Why not?
I cry in the car. I cry in the
understand, but
shower. I cry in the
can't-
bathtub.
You're showing me you can cry, and that's good. Why not?
Because I'm thinking of my children.
Right. But it's okay. You think it's a sign of weakness right now?
No, it's just a sign of I'm crying.
No, it's a sign of sadness.
My mom is pretty much going to be getting a little makeover today. My mom doesn't do anything to herself ever. I'm pretty much sure she's not going to like it.
You're scared, aren't you?
My mom and I have tons of days of fun, but as far as makeup and going to get your hair done together, that's nothing my mother does. And I'm sure this is going to be more of a nightmare to her than fun.
She's really nervous.
Well, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. You look beautiful. Was it okay to put just a little color in it?
No, she didn't want to color her hair at all.
I like this. I'm really proud of my white hair. I earned them.
Because your daughter was so tough. Did she give you these gray hairs?
No, not all of them. My father, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, they all went whitey silver, and I thought it looked great. Well, maybe that sounds a little silly, but I really am.
Yeah, it's looked very nice. I'm so worried that this day of fun is going to turn into a day of a disaster.
When I left Josie, I was damn lucky to get to Grandma and Grandpa's as it was.
Maybe I've gone a little too far with my mom in asking her questions.
Do you know the last time I was at a hairdresser?
When?
When I was 8 months pregnant with you.
It was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. I went, they washed it, and French braided it for me. And
My mom's very scared and doesn't want to be looking like somebody that she thinks she isn't. She is having a hot flash and is pretty much at any minute probably gonna lose it and walk out the door.
You okay?
Pardon me?
You okay?
Yes.
All right.
It's fine, I promise.
Somehow, Maureen, on some level, you feel if you actually go through this process, you're going to be letting your kids go. And this way, you keep them in your heart.
Oh, they'll never leave my heart.
I understand. That's what my point's going to be. But somehow you feel like to let go of the pain would be to betray them in some way, or somehow to not respect them the way you want to.
Just not to understand why they're gone. I don't understand why they had to go. They had goals, they had dreams. They were born. I held them in my arms. I had dreams for them, and those dreams didn't come true.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's an answer out there? There's a lot of guilt. Because parents are supposed to protect their children from everything. Parents are supposed to stop the pain and suffering for their children. We are supposed to do that for our children. And when we can't, we're devastated, not just because we lost them, but because we couldn't stop it.
Failure. How could she have died? I thought I caused leukemia.
Maureen will only complete the grieving process for her children when she can confront and understand the guilt that she has because she could not prevent her children's deaths. You're never going to forget your children. They're going to stay with you the rest of your life in your heart. It's only a question of how you function for the rest of your life and whether or not you celebrate their lives or you constantly mourn their deaths. I don't think you have to hide the tears at all. I think you can try to let them just come when they come. To not be the tough, hard woman that you sometimes portray yourself as. It's okay.
I can't cry for my life. I don't know what it is. Just maybe it makes it more real that it's happened. And I don't want it to be real. And if I cry, it makes it. The crying doesn't make it go away.
So this is sort of a new adventure to kind of see how your life has impacted you till today, and to see where you want to go. And that's what we're here for. We're going to be helping you figure out how to take your past and make it meaningful so that you can have the future you want.
Your link is here now. I think it's too long. Just at least, you know, like this, we need to take off. Okay, because anyway, this is very thin hair.
Okay, let me show her where you're putting it.
Okay, that's missing.
Put it like
this one. Okay?
No, yes. A little lower. It's up to you.
Really don't
Cut it off.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm trying to stay as positive as possible and keep a huge smile on my face because I don't think it looks bad at all. But I know my mom doesn't like it.
You did a great job, all of you, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. I might not be totally wild about my hair right now, but the one thing that I am truly glad of is that Josie was there with me. She had an open mind all day, and I couldn't have asked for more. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Truly, thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
How was today with your mom?
It was an experience.
Honest evaluation. Tell me.
She doesn't do anything like that ever. So like it was really different for her, and I actually had to be the communicator because she shut down.
How did you see yourself and your mom today?
I learned that I have a lot of things like my mom. And I think we were both raised the same way, so it tends to fit us both. And I'm not mad at her for it. And I'm not like, God, geez, that's so embarrassing, because I actually feel sorry for her.
Josie was raised in similar circumstances to her mother, but unlike Nancy, I'm hoping that Josie has the courage to break the cycle of abandonment and loss.
You and I can sit here all day long and go, okay, it was the best thing for you. But imagine your little girl at 4.5 years old, almost 5, and your mom job chef at Grandma and Grandpa's. And your mom told me that do you know how long you asked to go home after she left? She said you asked for years. Every time you saw her, you said, when am I going home? She said, for a few years. You asked.
I didn't know that. Or probably I just choose not to remember.
I mean, one of the things that's going to support your communication is for you to be honest about your feelings. I mean, you and I can intellectualize all day and rationalize everything. And it'll sound really nice, and you get to put it away, but you're not going to heal it, and you're not going to change your relationship, and you're going to have hidden resentments. And I don't want you to have hidden resentments. Maybe seeing your mom more as a woman and how she must have felt when she was 22 and 24 and 26 and 28. And then she had to be, 32 when she gave you to Grandma. I mean, what was her life like? And to really listen, not from a child perspective, but almost from a adult perspective, seeing yourself in her.
I'm pretty much in her position, but I just chose a harder route and something that would be harder for me to deal with, and it wasn't like the easy way out. But it makes me feel like I'm just being so rude to her.
What do you mean?
Because I'm knocking her for her decision. Because I feel like I was the ballsier one and I was the stronger one. And I actually just have me, and it's just me taking care of her. And yeah, I have bad days, but I don't turn around and just pass her on to the next person.
I really feel like my mom probably gave me to her mother because that's the only thing she knew at the time, and that's what she thought would be the best for me. Even though I was raised by my grandparents, I really did feel like there was a little bit of abandonment from the people that really were supposed to be in my life, which was my mother and my father.
I would never do that, no matter how horrible my life was. I wouldn't just pass her on to the next person in line. That's not right. And I feel so strongly about that because I would never do that to Chloe.
Your mom told me that she wants to go back to Illinois, and she wants you to come with her, you and Chloe. What if that's not what you want? What are you going to do?
I think it's my best option. I
can't always get what I want right away. I have to work for it.
It's true.
And I want to have a relationship with my mom, but at the same time, I would rather have my own home for myself, because then it's my rules.
Describe your ultimate relationship with your mother that you would like.
To have closure to it. It doesn't mean that I have to live with her for the rest of my life. I just want a different life for me and my daughter. It doesn't mean that she can't be a part of it by any means. I do want us to be together forever in a different way. And I want to know what the way is that she wants it to be.
Josie always dreams in terms of forever. She wants something that will last, something that will be easy. Josie, in order to really change her life, has to get today straight now.
If she doesn't want what you want.
Right, I don't want to assume and expect more than what I'm going to get.
Yes.
Because that's going to make me want to run. And I don't have that option to do that anymore.
I want you to ask the questions. I want you to take tonight. Decide if you want her to take Chloe tonight or talk to her about that. You can decide that at the last minute. And ask her some of these questions. Start the process now. You're in the starting over house, baby.
Last year, Josie's mother was not really ready to accept Josie's pregnancy. And that's why tonight is so important. I'm hoping that Josie and her mom can mend hurt feelings and perhaps accept each other so they can finally come together as a family.
How you living, ladies? So today, Miss Towanda and I had a really lovely experience. We were digging in dirt.
I'm seeing so much growth in Towanda as she builds her communication skills. I think I'm going to invite her to lead group and teach the other ladies in the Starting Over house what she's learned about gardening.
And she's going to share with you what she learned, and then we got a dig in the dirt experience for y'all. You want to tell them what we did today, Mr.
Yes. We dug in the dirt, and I pulled out all of the things that would not allow my garden to grow. Weed roots, rocks, cigarette buds. I looked at all the impurities that were in my garden as crap that I allowed to grow and suppress. And it was basically not doing me any good. It wasn't pretty. It was very ugly. And in the end, my garden was beautiful.
You ready?
Do you have everything you need?
Yes, I believe I do. Yeah,
Okay.
if I don't, I'll give you a call, okay?
Okay.
Tonight we're going to dinner. What more could I ask for than to be with my two favorite girls, my daughter and my granddaughter? And then afterwards, Chloe and I are going to a hotel, and I'm really glad that I'm able to give Josie a break tonight.
So what's in your garden? That's something that we all need to think about. What weeds do you have that are choking your beautiful flowers?
The little patches of earth represent what the women were born with. This is what they were given. What they do with their lives from here is up to them.
Self-doubt. Is that in there?
Self-doubt.
Yeah, he's crawling. He's crawling in there.
Well, you want to pull him out? That looks like self-doubt to me.
No, self-doubt's black.
Black, okay.
Okay, Lady Jennifer. What's in your...
Fear.
Come take your fear out.
Gross.
You have to have bugs.
Here.
Oh, my God. Look at that. It was horrible.
It was. Maureen.
Anger.
Get your anger.
Oh, go get the anger out the dirt.
Maybe a few pieces for anger.
I think everybody's gardens are all the same. Some of the things that we have are bigger and some are smaller, but they're all our stumbling blocks. My garden was filled with anger.
Okay, let's clean your garden up. Make it beautiful.
Okay, my anger.
No, don't plant no anger.
Oh, no.
She's replacing
I'm replacing my anger
with something good.
Okay.
With a beautiful pink rose because that was my mother's favorite flower. My losses, I want to replace with rock. Rock I could depend on. The big pile of rocks that I throw in there is just the most important thing for my future and for everybody's future in my family. I have to be willing to go forward and not dwell on that past stuff. My mother, my father, my son, my daughter, my house. But my house is really the smallest lost of the group.
What expectations do you have?
Right now, I just want you and her to come home when you get finished here.
So you do want us to live with you?
I want you to be happy and fulfilled. Well, yeah, I thought I said that yesterday.
Well, I just want to know more. No.
Like I said before, time's on your side. However long you want to stay there, or however long we can stay there.
So you would want us to both leave together again?
If it's possible, yeah.
Did you ever think Dad was going to come back to the house? Ever, if I would have came back?
No.
So you don't think he ever would have?
It wouldn't have mattered if he did.
Because I wouldn't have been there?
I wouldn't have let him back in.
But I just wondered, I mean, do you think it was the best for me to always stay at Grandma's? And Grandpa's, that is, in that matter, with Grandpa and Grandma?
I feel like you were safer. Things were more stable and safer than being behind the bar where I couldn't find a decent babysitter or anybody to be responsible and take care of you while I worked. No, I wouldn't have let him back in.
Forcefully, do you think he would have tried to make a run for it?
As my mom is sitting there in front of me, shutting down and getting very quiet, I really know inside that maybe I've gone a little too far with my mom in asking her questions.
If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to.
When I left Josie, I was damn lucky to get to Grandma and Grandpa's as it was, okay?
Is that why you guys never decided to get married, you and him? Or your just heart was still true to Walker?
I'm not gonna talk about this. I told Rhonda I wouldn't talk about it, and I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay? Can we have dinner?
Yeah, I just wanted to have a conversation. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Didn't mean to offend you.
Not tonight.
She didn't give me an explanation.
I'm gonna build a garden for all the starting over ladies in the house. And this will be the path that we'll walk. Because we need lots of abundance so Maureen can rebuild her home, and we need abundance for Jennifer to go forward and get her master's degree, and we need abundance for Sommer to build her own agency, and we need abundance for Kim, and we need lots of abundance to produce Towanda's record albums. So this is the banking corner.
All right, that's a lot.
Okay? And then we put beauty for the trailblazing women.
It seems that each woman is open to the process of growing a garden because her heart and mind is ready to grow and heal.
Thank you, Miss Towanda, for facilitating our garden growing.
Thank you for allowing me.
As you step into your leading capacity in your...
I absolutely love teaching and being a leader. And that really makes me feel wonderful to know that even the littlest things, I'm affecting other people in a positive way.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's always a pleasure. Keep living large.
It's just fine like that. She can't grab it. I scooted this against the wall because it rolls.
Okay.
So if she does try to stand up, she could really fall and hurt herself. So I pushed it against the wall. The TV, I don't think she can make that move to fall off. I just watched that area.
I'm like a nervous wreck. I'm like overprotective, paranoid, psycho mother.
Here's the little list with everything on it. That's pretty much basic.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it over here.
It's Chloe, so I have to do it. And I feel really weird because I'm even doing it to my mom.
Well, I love you. I love you.
I love you too. I thought you were talking to her. I love you too.
I hope you enjoyed dinner and everything.
Yes, I did. It was very good.
Good.
Very, very good. I really enjoyed it.
All right.
Okay?
Well, you two get some rest and have fun tomorrow.
You get some rest. That's what's more important, okay?
All right.
All right. I love you too. But I will see you tomorrow then.
All right.
All right?
Okay.
After spending all day with my mom, I really feel like our relationship is still where it was. It's being worked on, it's getting better, it's improving, but at the same time, it's seems to be very slow.
Hey. The dinner was really good. I was supposed to like ask her like some serious questions and I just couldn't do it. I like bombed it horribly. She wouldn't even talk to me about things. I tried to get her to tell me what she talked with Rhonda about. She wouldn't tell me. I don't know. She just felt uncomfortable. She said she didn't want to tell me anything. She wanted to talk in private. So I stayed and put Chloe to bed, and that's pretty much it, and she went to bed.
You know, I really feel like my day didn't go the way I wanted it to, but I am so proud of myself for not exploding on my mom or any of my housemates or beating myself up or making myself feel like my mom is totally out to attack me and make me feel bad. And I think it's really awesome. I feel really good about myself and what I've done. I really don't think that my mom's gonna be resistant to the changes in me here and starting over. But I guess I really don't know, and I'll just have to find out through time.